Hello and welcome to 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. You're watching me, Latasha Guy. It's been about a week. I'm batting 2 for 2. I was able to be able to get online 2 weeks in a row, so I'm proud of myself for that. Today's topic, I promise to keep it to 7 minutes, is going to be, what's your reality? This is a topic that kind of hit me last minute. I had some other things that I wanted to discuss, but hey, when it hits you hard, sometimes you got to go for it because you just never know who might need it. Today, as I was driving to work, I just came into a sense of really having that moment of what's your reality? What's your reality of where you're going? What's your reality of what you're doing in this current moment? And what is your reality of how you're going to get to some of these things that you say that you want to go forward and you want to happen in your life? And so I just began to think, when I began to think, a lot of times I like to get my mind in a silent place. It is hard sometimes when you're around a lot of noise, but one of my encouraging forces is being able to stick my buds in throughout the day. I think I got them, but I stick my buds in throughout the day. And I normally can tune out in those moments when I don't have things going on and just really focus in on those messages that encourage my heart, encourage my soul, be able to simply zone into that moment of figuring out what is my reality? Where am I going? Where is all of this leading to? And so I think it's more important now in the present than ever that we figure out what our reality is. So I jotted down a few notes about reality. Reality is the world or state of things as they actually exist, opposed to what our imagination often wants us to create. Our reality, as far as our imagination, can make us think that things are worse, or they can make us think that things are much better than what they really are. And so it is very important to make sure that you're having a real reality and that it's not of your imagination that things are too bad or that things are not on track of where they should be. And so one of the things I've always tried to do is look for the best in people, see the best in every situation that I go through. That there's always a lesson for the blessing that lies ahead. And so I'm not saying that by any means that it's not possible or that you shouldn't believe the best in people, but you need to have a reality of the situation that you're in. If you're not where you want to be, it's about figuring out how you get there, realizing that you're not there, but laying that foundation of where you want to go, how you desire to get there, physically, mentally, emotionally. When you're in something that it's not serving you purpose anymore, it's about laying that foundation of where you're planning to go, realizing that today may not be a good day, but how can I make tomorrow better? If you have no clue of where you're going or what your reality is, those are those moments that you need to get in silence and figure out what is it that sets your soul on fire. What is it that you have passion for? I always can just see those things inside of other people that I know they're good at, that they're passionate about, but just waking those things up inside of them. And so I'm surrounded by people all the time that have so many different gifts and talents wrapped up inside of them. And the first thing that I seek to do, and I always try to do, is encourage those talents that lie inside of them, helping them to realize that many of us do go to jobs every day, but those jobs are literally vehicles to push us towards those purpose and plans that are in our life, those things that we truly desire to do. You see motivations all the time that say when you wake up and you do what you truly like to do, it no longer becomes a job. So it's about getting to that point where we can be financially stable, but we can enjoy what we do. It no longer has to feel like a job. We don't wake up with the spirit of complaint, because reality is sometimes we do get into that mode where we're waking up with the spirit of complaint. We're just glad to be existing. That's not living. And that's honestly not the reality that you want to live. We are creating our reality. Our reality is our future. And so when we begin to think about our future, it is those things that we speak into existence, whether we're speaking negative or positive. We are creating that reality of what we want. So it's simple as, if you don't like where you're at today, you have to change something. Like, you have to lay a new foundation. That's the only way you begin to create that new reality. Life's never going to slow down long enough for you to figure it out. So sometimes, even in the midst of the noise, you have to say, hey, I'm at a point, I'm at a checkpoint. Reality will get you at different stages and ages of your life. You hear people say it all the time. Well, when you're 21, you're living your best life. You're embarking upon that season of really being an adult. Then you hit 30, things get a little bit more serious. A lot of people begin to think about settling down, buying a home, getting more stable, financially beginning to invest. And then when you hit that 40, it's like, look, I got to live my best life. I only live once. I got to do some things, some of those things that are on my bucket list that I desired to do. So you're creating your reality. You're realizing what your past was, but you know what your future should look like from the perspective. And realize you can never live someone else's reality, because we are all wired different. There's different things that make us tick, that make us happy, that get us to that place of excitement, brings out that passion in us. So never spend time trying to live somebody else's reality. Be yourself, be your authentic self. People will love you for it. They'll love you for it. And so, realizing those different checkpoints, the most important thing is realizing the lesson of some of the things that you go through, because life is not going to always be peaches and cream. And that's simple as that. You're going to have to go through some things to get where you need to be. But again, it's about realizing where you're at and where you want to get to, and figuring out the mechanisms to get there. Going after those things. It's going to take faith. That's just reality. You're going to have faith that those things that you desire, you can have. It's going to take, endurance, being your number one enforcer, doing those things even when you don't want to do them. Even when you don't want to do them. There's times I have to do things that I don't want to do. I seriously don't. I'm like, I don't want to do this today. It's easy to say I don't feel like adulting today. But I can't delay on those things that I desire, for those things that I say I want. I have to be very diligent. Time is of the essence. You can't get time back. And so I'm always trying to remain optimistic. I'm not happy every day, but I do try to spread optimism. I do try to be very optimistic when I talk to people, because the last thing I want is for someone to be down and for me to come and help and shove them down further. I want to be that light at the end of the tunnel. I want to be that positive reinforcement. I want to let you know that what it looks like today, it doesn't have to look like that tomorrow. I do also want you to realize that changes you make today will determine your life 5-10 years from now. So if there are some things that you desire to have, time is of the essence. You have to go after those things now. There's no more delay. We know that we're in the fourth quarter of 2019. Many of us made goals. We didn't get a chance to accomplish some of those goals, but there's still time. You have to start now. You don't wait until January 1st of 2020. Do it now. Go after those things that you're passionate about and give it all that you got. Create your reality, because your future truly does depend on it. It's been a blessing to speak with you on today. I always end my messages the same. Refuse to live less than your best, because that's what you've been called, and you're amazing.